As the White House struggles to deal with all of that, there are reportedly going to be, fewer staffers to work on these issues in the coming days and weeks with more staff turnover there. Let's talk about the Biden administration exodus and problems ahead with tonight's Bream Team panel, Democratic strategist Kevin Walling and Project 21 co-chair Horace Cooper. Gentlemen, welcome back.
Hey, Shannon, good to see you.
Good evening.
You too. Okay, let's start with this. Let's start with inflation, and I will let Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan, explain how he thinks this whole thing is going to play out.
It's a hurricane. Right now it's kind of sunny. Things are doing fine. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. That hurricane is right out there down the road coming our way. We just don't know if it's a minor one or Superstorm Sandy or Andrew or something like that. And it's you better brace yourself.
Horace, I cannot imagine that is the message the White House wants out there, or that they want to hear, brace yourself for how bad it's going to get.
I have to keep telling everyone who wants to pay attention to what's been going on. The president has made things worse. This isn't a case of he can't figure out what to do. He needs to stop doing what he is doing. He could make a commitment that in the next 10 years that there will be opportunities for people to invest in the oil and gas industry, that they're not going to overregulate, and that things like independent contractors, which his government is trying to shut down to make people become unions, that they're not going to. He could actually say, I am going to put a 180-day suspension on all new federal regulation. There are things that he could do, but instead he continues to pursue the bad policies that are causing this problem.
Well, and the reporting from inside the White House, allegedly, is that he's very frustrated with the way that he's being portrayed, that he's not getting enough credit for the stuff that is going well. And it's about the messaging in part. Well, that brings me to this from Joe Concha. He's writing about this. He says it's been 16 long weeks since the president's last interview. He says inflation, which was at 1.4% at the end of 2020 as Biden prepared to enter office, is almost 6 times higher now at 8.3%. Gas prices have hit an all-time high and are only going to get worse as we continue into the summer months and travel increases, as it always does. So, Kevin, why not get out there, have the president do a couple of these one-on-one interviews and make his case?
Yeah, Shannon, I think you're going to see that in the coming days and weeks. Obviously, you saw the president's cabinet, especially those cabinet officials responsible for the economy, fanning out across the networks to talk about some of the issues that the administration is tackling. He met with Jerome Powell and Janet Yellen this past Tuesday, encouraging the Fed to really take action to curb inflation. You're seeing the president take on key issues like you saw today with the baby formula issue, with the fourth Operation Fly formula taking off from Australia and other countries to tackle that issue. We're 5 months out from one of the most critical elections in this country's history. And I think you're going to see the president really stepping up his game as he continues to fight against this inflation that we're seeing.
Well, of course, the American people are cheering for him. It is their wallets on the line. And so everybody wants to see things turn around in the economy. And the polling continues to show that the vast majority of people are very worried about where it is now and where it is headed as well. We talked a little bit in the intro about, and Kevin talked about, the exodus of people, the turnover that happens a lot in administrations. But there's been a notice that there's been an exodus, specifically Politico says, of black staffers and frustration among those who remain. They say this, Daniel Lippman in his piece, privately several staffers said there's a growing sense that some of the major issues important to black voters and lawmakers have gone either unfulfilled or become less emphasized. And Horace, there was also, a report that they felt there wasn't real opportunity for growth or to take on, promotions and those kinds of things. And so many are leaving.
With big fanfare, the Biden administration says, look, we've got black people working for us. We've got a lot of black people working for us. Oh, he has a toxic work environment. There's no opportunity for advancement. People aren't going to listen to you. But like in so many other areas, he has made the situation worse. It's not a surprise that the practical solutions that many Americans, black, white, or brown, might want to bring forward, they're not going to let those be considered, because the woke eco policies are always going to be put first, even though those are destructive and they hurt our economy. And now even people who work in the White House are wondering, wow, when is this going to come to an end?
All right, Kevin, final 10 seconds to you. Last word.
Yeah, Shannon, I read that piece. I know a lot of those individuals on the staff, a lot of them are going to higher positions within government. So I think it's a little disingenuous. Again, this is the most diverse White House staff, most diverse cabinet in the history of this country. So turnover is regular in any kind of administration. I think this is just a D.C. insider story.
And you know how D.C. insiders like to chat. So they will continue to give us more material.
Yes, they do.
Kevin and Horace, thank you both very much.